Hey guys, Nada again here with Fathom Realty, and I'm so excited today because today I am bringing you the principal of Laurel Hill Elementary School, a very well-known, famous elementary school in Lorton, Miss Dalton.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
So I have some questions for her, and my goal is today to give you some more information about the programs that Laurel Hill offers, the school itself. But if you want to know more, I encourage you to go on the website to read some more and reach out to me. I will direct you in the right direction towards whatever information you may look for. But right now, we just want to introduce Ms. Dalton and see what kind of information we can get out of her.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So thank you for this opportunity to talk about the best school in all of Lorton, all of Virginia, all of the USA.
Yes.
And answer any questions you have specifically about our programs, our student population, or the services rendered here at Laurel Hill.
So the first question that I wanted to ask you is, how long have you been a principal here?
This is my third year as principal here at Laurel Hill.
Have you seen any big changes in the school in the last several years?
Since I've been here, our student population has increased. I initially came and we were about 760 students, and we're now right at 1,000 students. So our population is definitely on the increase. We have a tremendously diverse school population. Actually, our largest population of students here are Asian. And then we have about 15% Hispanic students, another 10% biracial, multiracial students, about 20% Black students. So we have a very wide range in terms of racial diversity here. A pretty even split on male-female. We're at 52% male students in our population. So each year we've been growing.
So that means that influx of population actually into Lorton, into the boundary area, is growing.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what is the ratio of students per teacher?
Typically, most of our classes are about 25 students, anywhere from 24 to 26 students. A typical size, about 25 students per teacher in each one of our grade level courses.
Well, is there anything what is about the school that parents love?
I think they appreciate the diversity. Most of all, I think they appreciate the teaching staff here. We have teachers that are highly competent and professional in their field, and they also have a passion for kids and a passion for learning, and really work diligently to develop relationships with the students and relationships with the families.
And what about kids? What do they like about school?
I have to say probably the student engagement. They like coming to school, learning about new things. They love their classmates. They love their teacher. They know that each day is going to be a new adventure. So they appreciate.
You make it fun for them.
We do. We work very diligently.
And I can vouch because my son actually went here before going to South County. He's now a South County sophomore, and he loved it. So, what do you think the qualities of a good school should be? What's the fun?
Well, absolutely that. With all organizations, it starts with the relationship piece. Really, students getting to know their teachers, teachers getting to know their students, staff getting to know each other, the administration knowing the community. The foundation for that has to be about the relationship piece. Obviously, the next part, we're about student learning and student achievement. So there's an equal amount of focus on making sure that kids are stronger readers and writers and problem solvers and critical thinkers, are able to know science curriculum, social studies curriculum, and math. So our real drivers are making sure that students are getting what they need to be successful citizens, making sure, again, that we're building relationships in terms of how to navigate the softer side of school, meaning the characteristics that make you successful individuals, and again, balancing that with the strong academic piece.
Thank you so much. So I know that a lot of parents in the area, or the kids who go to Laurel Hill, want to know about two things. One is advanced placement program, and two is the SAG program, the before and after school. So can we talk about those?
Sure, absolutely. The philosophy that we have here at Laurel Hill is every student that walks in has unique sets of gifts and talents, and really the school needs to be a muse of really bringing those to the forefront and recognizing whatever their specific gifts or talents are and further developing those. Fairfax County as a school system also recognized that there are some students that require a different level of rigor and a different level of pacing in the academic process, which we call advanced academic. And advanced academic ranges from a level 1 identification all the way to a level 4 student identification, and then programs that run congruent with each one of those categories. So at Laurel Hill, we recognize all 4 categories of advanced academic services. We're what's called a local level 4 school. So that's the highest level of identification in academic achievement. And we have classes 3 through 6 that are exclusively level 4 students who have been identified and are rendering that level of rigor and the level of pacing that's a match for where they are intellectually.
But that's something new, right? It wasn't
Correct.
level 4
Always.
5 years ago. Yeah, I
Right.
remember we had to bus the kids to Laurel Station
Right.
for level 4.
So they do offer that as an option if your student has been identified, and the identification process for level 4 services starts in 2nd grade, the identification. The actual implementation of the program starts in 3rd. So you have an option of staying here at your base school and receiving those services, or going to a level 4 center school.
Okay, and I'm sure that parents who are watching this interview would want to know, how do you identify, or how do they put their child forward for recommendations for any type of AAP program?
Okay, so there's initial screening that starts actually all the way in kindergarten for what we call level 2 services, which is a level of differentiation based upon need that happens in the classroom with the classroom teacher. A level 1 service is their advanced academic resource teacher, which we have one that's based here, goes into the classroom and renders differentiated instruction to all students. So we use that as an enrichment opportunity, and we also use that as one of our screeners to see which kids kind of think a little differently or express their thinking a little differently from other students. And then level 2, once we discern, wow, this kid really is picking up information, or they approach problem solving in a slightly different way, or more importantly, what are the behaviors of a student when they don't know something? Are they inquisitive? Do they have a high level of frustration? Do they use creativity, problem solving, language? There are lots of variables that go into when you really look at advanced academic. It's not how much you know and how fast you can learn it. We've really broadened our definition of when we say supreme intellectual diversity looks a little different now. So in 2nd grade, there's a test called a cognitive abilities test. In 1st grade, there's one called a Naglieri, which is another type of cognitive abilities test, along with narratives from the teacher and work samples that give you a profile of the student. And those are, the screener is outside of Laurel Hill. Fairfax County has a cohort of people who assess all of the scores, the portfolio, and then they make determinations of which kids are qualified for a level 4 service.
So that comes from teacher, right? So the parents can submit their applications
Absolutely.
as well?
So if your test scores don't by default put you in the pool of folks to take a closer look at, parents can independently petition to be part of that evaluation process to see
And
if
I'm
their
assuming
child.
the process and instructions are somewhere online that we can
Absolutely. You can just Google advanced academic resources or advanced academic screening on Fairfax County's website, and they're very explicit about what steps you need to take to be able to submit an application for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about before and after school? I know it's a big problem in this area because it's a wait list, people cannot get in.
Absolutely. I encourage you, if you have a 3-year-old, get on the wait list right now for kindergarten 2 years from now.
All right, if you're pregnant, you better think about it now.
Exactly. So our SAC program here, SAC stands for School Age Child Care, and we have a before school program, that opens at 7:15 a.m. And then their after-school program ends at 6:15 p.m. So parents can apply to be part of just a morning drop-off or an afternoon or both. And we typically always have a waiting list.
Yes.
We only can have, I think, a total of about 80 students. And as I mentioned before, we're a school of 1,000 kids.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very limited in terms of space, and that's just because we don't have the space.
So this program is provided by the county.
Correct.
Laurel Hill just happens to have the room for it, and
We just house the program,
children,
but it's working.
But and I've encountered this myself because I had to put my son on wait list, and while we were waiting, I had to find another daycare.
Okay.
And there is some good news. We have daycares that match SAG's fees.
Okay.
And if you need to know more, reach out to me. I'll put you in contact with the people that run those daycares. They're pretty good. But, again, if your child is 3 or even maybe younger, you may want to think about
applying
and getting on that wait list, because that wait list is like in hundreds and hundreds of kids. And the fees are going to be the most affordable because it's provided by the county.
And it's a sliding scale. They ask for your income, and then they determine what your fee will be based upon your income.
It's a huge factor in daycare.
Absolutely.
It's a huge factor. Well, I know that you live somewhere around Lorton. This is Lorton-based website. This is an interview for Lorton residents and people who are thinking about moving into Lorton. So, Ms. Dalton, you are familiar with Lorton. So, what do you like about it? Is there anything comes to mind that you really like about the area?
I really appreciate Lorton because it seems the best of both worlds. You have a very suburban environment. There's lots of trees, there's grass, there's space between houses. There's a lot of diversity, and yet we're a short drive right to downtown DC or an Old Town, where if you want to get shopping, restaurants, there's a lot of diversity, and yet you have an element of suburban life that's infused in that. So I appreciate that a lot. I really do.
Is there any particular place that you favor in Lorton?
Oh, I don't know if I can tell all the masses. But there are times right here by the school, it's quick to go in Shoppers Food Bar. I like Shoppers Hot Food Bar. We have Antonelli's right down at the bottom of the hill.
Yes.
They have great pizzas and great subs that I personally enjoy, and I will endorse them. That's one of my favorites. Lynn's Nails, who's right in the shopping plaza up the street.
That's where the what's it called? Where the post office is, right?
No, there's right beside, I think it's CVS in the little plaza. It's a CVS there. Orange Theory, I think, just opened. My dentist, the Subway. Gotcha. That have been so supportive. When we need things, they come. I know Lynn's Nails gave, I think, 70 free pedicures to teachers from her school.
Oh, that's nice.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Lynn's Nails.
Okay, that's nice,
Antonelli's has been very accommodating when we have large orders and we do events here at the school. So we appreciate businesses,
the local, right?
Partnering with us and supporting us. That's been really important.
This is actually very in line with what I'm trying to say in every interview, and actually shop local.
Yes.
Support your own community. You don't have to go far. Everything is within Lorton. Everything you may need and want.
Yeah.
Let's stay local. Well, let's go back to school questions. Like, is there anything that you'd like changed in school?
Anything that I would like changed in schools? Well, we're working on what we call a one-to-one initiative, where every student, 3rd through 6th grade, has a laptop assigned to them to really be able to research, manipulate data, become
That's early
digital,
now, right? So you're getting them
citizens.
Familiar with the technology already.
Absolutely.
And you provide the laptops right within the school, so kids can. They don't necessarily have to have equipment at home. They can learn right here.
So we're at 1-to-1, meaning each 5th grade student and each 6th grade student has a laptop to use throughout the day that's assigned to that student. We're halfway with 4th grade this year. But obviously, each laptop is $875.
Yeah, that was I was going to say. The school is huge. You have so many students, and you're able to actually do that. That's amazing.
Right. So we get support from our PTA. We get support from some local businesses. that have been Caliber, which is a business who has donated several computers to us to make a kind of wish list come true and changing in schools, making sure that that technology piece is strong and relevant to our instructional practices. I do appreciate having the low class numbers, having staff where 20 to 24 students in the classroom can often render greater flexibility and greater monitoring of student progress.
As much, right?
So
wow. And if somebody wants to donate to school, how would they go about?
Just give me a call.
Oh,
absolutely. If you have computers to donate, if there's a financial donation that you'd like to give, that's a great way, and it's tax deductible. We have a letter that we can give you to get some tax incentives for that, but we appreciate it.
So you guys, if you want to donate something this year, you don't have to go far. You don't have to look out for that Goodwill store or whatever. Contact Ms. Dalton and see if there's something that you have to donate actually may be of use. Okay, great. And the last question, and I will let you go. And I will let you go too. What would you say to a new teacher who comes on board?
A new teacher that came specifically to Laurel Hill, I would say take each day at a time. Develop those relationships. Get to know your kids as learners. Get to know your kids as just students. Pick one content area that you really want to be the master of, and then just grow a little each day. Use the end of every day as a reflection on all those things that went well, things that if you could do a do-over, what would that look like? And stay passionate about this work. The passion and the energy become the drivers for great success.
Right.
And so that would be my look-fors and my advice, if you will.
Wonderful. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't become a teacher, because I knew I couldn't do it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time and watching this interview. And
absolutely.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
hope to see you in the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.